Welcome back to the History Shelf, everybody. My name is Peg. How are you doing out there today? Today is a Wednesday, and I thought I'd show you 4 books that I've recently got from my history book club, my by mail book club. Those are pretty popular with you guys, seeing which ones I select with my credits. So I've got 4 books here that range from ancient history through the American Revolutionary era, Independence era, and the Civil War. And one of them is a juicy biography. So this will be a pretty quick video, but just wanted to check in and let you guys know that I am still here. It's sunny out today, but we had some cloudy, foggy weather over the weekend. It was kind of unusual for Colorado. We're usually just 300 days of sun out here. All right, so let's start with, I've only got 4 of these right now because I noticed History Book Club, I haven't made any purchases the last few months because, frankly, I've read a lot of the books that they're coming into the book club. I've already read and reviewed them for publications. So, and in fact, one of these I did review for a publication, but I really wanted the finished copy, and so I used a credit to get it. But anyway, these are the 4 that I had not picked up yet, and I really wanted. So the first is Alexandria, the City That Changed the World, by Islam Issa. This was put out by Pegasus Books. There you go. Let's see. So it's a fairly new book. It says here, inspired by the tales of Homer and his own ambitions of empire, Alexander the Great sketched the idea of a city onto the sparsely populated Egyptian coastline. He did not live to see Alexandria built, but his vision of a sparkling metropolis that celebrated learning and diversity was swiftly realized and still stands today. In this sweeping biography of a fascinating place, Islam Issa takes us on a journey across millennia, rich in big ideas, brutal tragedies, and distinctive characters from Cleopatra to Napoleon. From its humble origins to dizzying heights and present-day strife, Alexandria tells the gripping story of a city that has shaped our modern world. I look like that most mornings. Just like, really? I gotta get up. I gotta face the day. I'm kidding. I jest. Yeah. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty good read. Have any of you read this book? I'd like to know. And there's 2 sections of inserts. So towards the back of the book, you get even more artwork and photographs as we move into the 20th century. Archaeological discoveries, underwater as well. How very cool. Yeah, it goes up into the modern day. So Alexandria, the City That Changed the World, by Islam Issa. It's a beautiful cover. Just beautiful. Okay, let's see. Oh, that would have been good for... Well, no, it goes over all time. I was thinking of Historathon for the first quarter, but part of that definitely would have met that criteria. Let's see here. This one actually might be good for... Hold on. What years? Well, no. Shit. Oops, excuse me. I didn't mean to swear. Actually, this might be great for the second quarter of Historathon 2024. And I'm going to use that hashtag in this video because I might, this could be one in my pile of possibilities for Q2, beginning in April. This is Justinian, Emperor, Soldier, Saint by Peter Saris. Yeah, I love that cover. Nice big juicy book. It's put out by Basic Books. So let's take a look-see. Yeah, the Byzantine Emperor Justinian ruled for nearly 4 decades in the 6th century CE, AD, but okay. A tumultuous time of fearsome geopolitical threats, climate change, and a devastating plague. From his capital of Constantinople, Justinian's armies reconquered lost territory in Africa, Italy, and Spain and took on the neighboring superpower of Persia. But the military exploits for which Justinian is best known were just one part of his broader program of imperial renewal. And that's true. I read a massive book late last year, The New Roman Empire. It's all about a history of Byzantium by Anthony Caldelis. I highly recommend that. It is a time investment. It is over 1,000 pages. But his section on Justinian I thought was outstanding, and just really underscored just how much building and investment he put into imperial renewal. It was also kind of bolstering the authority of the emperor and how he was investing back into his people and looking out for their common good. It was really, I really liked the spin that, not the spin, but the angle that Caldelis took for Justinian's reign. I really appreciated it. But in this book, let's take a look here. Historian Peter Saris offers a new interpretation of the emperor's life and reign, looking beyond the battlefield alone, and drawing on the latest scholarship to reveal the true diversity and enduring influence of Justinian's ambitions and achievements. From his dramatic overhaul of Roman law, to his lavish building projects, to his fierce persecution of dissenters from Orthodox Christianity, Justinian's vigorous statecraft and his energetic efforts at self-glorification not only set the course of Byzantium, but also laid the foundations for the world of the Middle Ages. Justinian is a radical reassessment of an emperor and his times, showing that Justinian not only sought to recapture Rome's past greatness, but also paved the way for what would follow. So this is going to be, and just maybe reading this in Q2 on the heels of, it's a really pretty, just spine by itself. You don't even need the dust jacket. But reading this on the heels of the new Roman Empire, I think I'll be set for a while on Byzantine studies. So, so I picked this up from History Book Club. I'm starting to lose the light a little bit. Now we've got an assortment of lighting in here. Actually, that might be better. That might be better. Okay, let's see. Now we're moving into American history, the Founding Father eras. Now, actually, if Bill Rutenberg, if you're watching, let me know if you plan on getting this book. It's by one of our favorite historians. And since we didn't do a wrap-up of our Civil War, the last book he wrote, I'm wondering if you might be interested in reading this with me for Q3 of Historathon 2024. And if so, because it's so similar to the one we just read, Our Civil War, by H.W. Brands, I'm wondering if we could just do a wrap-up book chat that would cover both books. But that's just an idea, crazy idea I have. This is H.W. Brands' new book, Founding Partisans. Hamilton, Madison, Jefferson, Adams, and the Brawling Birth of American Politics. So the last one he wrote was Our Civil War, which kind of looked at the loyalists, people who were wanting to stay loyal to Britain. But you have a lot of the same personalities in both. So, yeah, I don't know. I might want to maybe do a twofer, but hey, could be for a buddy read. This could be for Q3 of Historathon 2024, Founding Partisans. So, and here's our handsome author, but not as handsome as Brad Thor. Sorry, I had to say it. If Martina's watching, she's rolling her eyes and groaning right now. Let's see here. All right. To the framers of the Constitution, political parties were a fatal threat to Republican virtues. They had suffered the consequences of partisan politics in Britain before the American Revolution, and they wanted nothing similar for America. Yet parties emerged even before the Constitution was ratified, and they took firmer root in the following decade. And founding partisans, master historian H.W. Brands has crafted a fresh and lively narrative of the early years of the Republic, as the Founding Fathers fought one another with competing visions of what our nation would be. The first party, the Federalists, formed around Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and their efforts to overthrow the Articles of Confederation and make the federal government more robust. Their opponents organized as the Anti-Federalists, who feared the corruption and encroachments on liberty that a strong central government would surely bring. The Anti-Federalists lost, but regrouped under the new Constitution as the Republicans, led by Thomas Jefferson, whose bruising contest against Federalist John Adams marked the climax of this turbulent chapter of American political history. The country's first years unfolded in a contentious spiral of ugly elections and blatant violations of the Constitution. Still, peaceful transfers of power continued, and the nascent country made its way toward global dominance against all odds. Founding Partisans is a powerful reminder that fierce partisanship is a problem as old as the Republic itself. Indeed. Yes. So this book, we're looking at well over 400 pages. Thank you very much. 400 pages. Yep. And got our usual suspects in here. Here's our guys. John Adams. George Washington. Yeah, so it's another entry from H.W. Brands, which, again, on the heels of the last book that we read, we're not moving too far away from the topic of the last one, our Civil War. Our First Civil War. Sorry, that's the name of the book. Yeah, it wasn't Our Civil War. Sorry, I said that like 3 times. It was Our First Civil War. So then we move into Founding Partisans. But that's going to be on my pile of possibilities for Q3. Yes, because Q3 goes all the way up until 1820. Okay, perfect. Now, here's a book I've already read, folks. I've already read, and I can highly recommend it to you. But I wanted to have a finished copy. I read it in a printed galley, and I was hoping they would have more photos in here, but I'm glad to have it in hardcover. This is Longstreet, the Confederate General Who Defied the South by Elizabeth R. Varyn. And she's the august historian who wrote Armies of Deliverance. She also wrote a book, hang on. She's great. I love her books. She also wrote Appomattox Victory, Defeat and Freedom at the End of the Civil War. But I think it was her dissertation that I read. Dissolution or something like that. I read it for a school course, actually, in college, and it was fabulous. Fabulous. What the hell am I now? I'm turning into like a Jewish grandmother. Fabulous. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's not a lot of pictures in here. They're the standard things. Although I've never seen this statue of Longstreet. And that's at Gettysburg. It's still on my list of places I need to get to before I kick it. So it's on my bucket list. But this is a statue at Gettysburg, which was erected in 1998? That late? Oh, God. Yeah, there's not a lot here as far as pictures goes. Of course, he probably didn't have a lot of pictures of him as a younger man, obviously, but there's the standard Confederate picture of him alongside Robert E. Lee. And there's him as an office holder and politician. Got a little paunch going on there. then a picture of his wife, his first wife. It was sad. He lost his wife and like 4 or 5 of his children. I think it was scarlet fever during the Civil War. It was, I don't even know how you come back from that, but he did. So let's talk about Longstreet. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book, and it's got a ton of blurbs from other historians and Civil War specialists on the back. Joan Waugh, who wrote a fantastic biography of Ulysses S. Grant, I highly recommend. Gary Gallagher. I mean, these are the headliners of Civil War history. James McPherson and John Meacham, who recently wrote a very good book that I've read and reviewed on Abraham Lincoln and There Was Light. They are all just praising this book. So let's take a look. I really enjoy Elizabeth Barron's work, so I really recommend this. And now that I have it in hardcover, it's on the shelf, and now I can easily spot this guy right here. When the Civil War ended, Longstreet was considered Confederate number 3, just behind Jefferson Davis and Robert E. Lee. For 4 long years, Longstreet had fought tenaciously for the Confederacy. He was alongside Lee at Gettysburg and counseled him not to order the ill-fated attacks on entrenched Union forces there. He won a major Confederate victory at Chickamauga and was seriously wounded during a later battle, the Battle of the Wilderness. After the war, Longstreet moved to New Orleans, where he dramatically changed course. He supported black voting and joined the newly elected integrated post-war government in Louisiana. When white supremacists took up arms to oust that government, Longstreet, leading the interracial state militia, did battle against former Confederates. I bet many of you did not know that. This is true. His defiance ignited a firestorm of controversy as white Southerners branded him a race traitor and blamed him retroactively for the South's defeat in the Civil War. Of course, remember they were all like Jubal Early and that ilk tried to blame Gettysburg on him rather than Robert E. Lee. Yeah, so despicable. Despite his high rank in the Confederate Army, Longstreet has never been commemorated with statues or other memorials in the South because of his post-war rejection of the Lost Cause mythology and his advocacy for racial reconciliation. In the new age of racial reckoning, he is being rediscovered. Thanks to Elizabeth Barron for this wonderful book. Yes, so I read it, loved it, and now it's going to be on my shelf. It's a keeper. So I highly, highly recommend that for you guys. So that's it. These are my 4 volumes. Can you believe it? Such a quick video, guys. For me, my 4 most recent History Book Club selections for your edification and viewing pleasure. All right. So on that note, guys, I'll just keep it short and sweet. And thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for subscribing. We will be back soon with more books, new, used, and otherwise. So until next time, BookTube, be safe, be well. Ciao.